Yeah, I usually do I had been doing a once a week stream on Thursdays, and I got away from it just because I got busy with work stuff. And it's like, you know what? I'm not working today. It's a quiet day at the gym. This is a good day to stream.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I would say. Yeah, you're here for the fans, but when the fans get in your way, it's like you got to make way. I will be there. I will make sure it's believable. I'll say I saw firsthand. Came out of nowhere. He was just coming in, and the fan just was like, shut down. Yeah. And it ain't low. It's like right at the legs too. It's like, man, it's right below the knee. You don't want to be doing that stuff. Oh yeah, you have your alibi. I'm here. I was here. Welcome into the Pojo Dojo. Take it easy, man. Have a good one. And have a good 4th. I'm your host, Pojo. We got the day off, and it's a quiet day at the gym, so let's see if we can get a little bit of a gym stream going today. Not gonna overdo it too much. We were dumb and slightly hyperextended our finger playing basketball. Injured ourselves, of course. We're our own worst enemies. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing deads today. We'll go through some of the usual things, calves, pull-ups. Probably a little bit more mobility stuff. Not too much other things, just because if I do run a 5K tomorrow, pending the heat, I don't want to be too depleted. Not that a 5K is anything to worry about, but with the heat being what it is, when it's hot, you tone things down. Don't want to overdo it. So anyway, let's get into it. As long as it's not one of those WWE fans, because then it's going to take a chair. Oh, my shoe got a knot. It's going to take me a second here. I only wish I was as shredded as my shoelaces are right now. Holy smokes, dudes. Come on. Pojo and Tyson shoe street. Oh my goodness. let's get our lifts in first. Mobilizing when we go over the calf raises. Be good to complement to activation and release. Okay, let's go. Okie dokie. Let's get loaded up for some calves. Actually, let's do some pull-ups first, and then we'll alternate calves and pull-ups. You stay here for a second. There we go. Good. Down the hatch. There we go. Ouch. Okay. There's a very particular external rotation motion that's causing sharp impingement of the what's the deep lateral ankle joint name? I forget. So we're gonna have to NASCAR strats. Only turn left. Otherwise that rotation is causing sharp pain on the side. I was feeling that a little bit before and then it kind of went away, but I know exactly what's causing it now. Definitely external rotation. Depth doesn't cause anything, so it's not about the depth. Plantar flexion, dorsiflexion angles, totally fine. Pronate, I feel a little bit of a pronate. I do not want to supinate anyway. So don't try and force pronation, just because that little bit of rotation is going to cause a bit of compression on the side. Don't pronate, keep it neutral, and then don't internal rotate. Okay. We know what we got to do. We know what we got to not do. Set to a pull-ups. Let's go. Le swing. stay here, and we go down here. Aha. It's fine. Left foot. Rotate. Actually, turn. Last step, we're going to step on here and do a thing. We're going to do a thing. It's going to make noise. It's going to make our ankle do things that we want it to do. And it's going to do a lot of rotation. We're going to make the rounds. Did this yesterday. What's the ankles? What's the ankles? This one. Quite simple. What do I normally do? What do I normally do? There it is. want to be down. Yeah, we want to bear down so that our shoulder drives through, forces us forward as we lean forward, rotating inwards, and then twisting. So it's kind of like that. And here, that's what we want. Okay. So do it on this side, from one side to mobilize. A little bit of force and range. Dorsiflexion with internal rotation. We should be feeling just below the middle of the soleus. Then we repeat on this side. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, we figured it out. Like a puzzle. So we pull ourselves down, leaning forward, almost kind of diagonally pushing this way. Up forward, rotate through, and then hold as we push down. Should be feeling it more medial. If we're feeling the Achilles tendon, we want to bail because we don't stretch tendons, we stretch muscles. Tendons and ligaments are just anchor points. We want to take strain away from them, not put strain on them. And if we're feeling it, it means we have too much tension elsewhere, or our nerve flow is not doing what we want it to do. In which case, we're probably having a little bit of impingement elsewhere, usually higher up the chain, closer to the lumbosacral plexus. That's got to be it. And considering we've been having a little bit of compression on the lower back, that's probably explaining why we're feeling a bit more unilateral tension down, lower. Okay, good. That's the dumb thing we want to do. Oh, just like that, ankle feels better. Not 100%, mind you. But it gives us a little bit more mobility to work with for the time being. And that's what we want. With that, we can get our shoes back on. We're ready to push up for basketball. We just got chest press left for our heavy lifts. Rock curls. Yeah. That worked a little bit more medial. We got a little bit of pressure on the top curl joint. We don't want that either. So we gotta be smart. Don't overdo it. Shot smart. Shot that smart. Okay, let's do some chest press. On to some more pressing things, as it were. Okay. Yo, Sitar, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Happy 3rd of July to you. Let's awaken your humanity. But I don't have any of the souls things that you need. My inventory is empty. I gotta like roll around a bunch until I find some. And I don't think they have any here. But I hope you're doing well. Legacy of Pojo Celery Poo. I do like to think I have those PS1 graphics going. Very sharp edges, very lean, very polygonal. Not the other word that sounds like it. You look fairly polygonal and blocky. Oh yes. We're on the chopping block with that one. I think our ring finger's going to be fine. Feels like we got enough grip going on here. Let's see if we can do this. See if we can do this. Hello, keyhole. Bye. Almost dropped him. Yikes. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's fine. It's fine. I'm through. How you doing, Sitar? Any plans for the scorched earth policy of July tomorrow? Letting off any fireworks, doing any American things? Hot dogs on the grill? Yeah. I was an idiot. We were playing basketball. This guy, this perfect defensive play where he came right through, got the ball, tipped it out of my hand. And when I tried to stop it, basically the ball rolled, and like the last finger that I had on it was my ring finger. And I tried to save it, came in and just basically hyperextended it. So I got it jammed and hyperextended, but not too serious, just hurt really bad. It's kind of the acute stupidity. Hurt my pride as much as my inner phalangeal joint. Oh, all the time. But you learn how to handle it. You learn what to do with it. It's also nice to know, it's like, did I sprain something? Did I sprain one of the tendons in the joint? Did I just compress the inner phalangeal joint? Proximal inner phalangeal joint? What type of strain are we dealing with? And as with all compression stuff, The sooner you address it, the better. You want to get joint spacing and work back towards neutral alignment. Define just how bad it is so that it doesn't swell up like a balloon before you get things set. It's good to set and align an injury so that when it does swell up and the inflammation and healing process begins, it's all under control. But it's feeling pretty good right now. I don't think it's as bad as it initially felt. It was just that sharp stabbing instant pain of, boy, I'm an idiot. Okay. Yeah. Let's do some broccoli. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. The double follow from Sitar. You'll love to see it. Not the snap we quite want. Not the crisp motion we wanted on the left, but we got through it. Just enough of an angle to try and activate the Brock. Maintain separation between the bicep and the tricep by developing the intermediary transverse planes of things. It wasn't me, I just stole someone else's glory with the welcome. Well, I appreciate you doing that. Straight things. Yeah, well, it's not the perfect motion. Really, ideally, it's kind of a little bit more of a rotation as you're coming through. So that basically, as you pull across, you can almost rotate it in a bit, but you're going to activate the muscle that's right in between the. It's easier if I have something. Is too much for me to do this. Hindsight 2020. So as we pull through, you get bicep activation, but it's also kind of the pull across motion, so you end up activating the brachialis. And that's going to get the separation. Squeeze at the end. It's easier to show on the right side. Yeah, I got a little bit more defined rock on the left side, or right side. And all it is just to maintain separation just by getting that one activated. More or less just a glamour muscle, but by having that developed and getting that separation, it allows you to isolate bicep tries a little bit better. And it looks nice. Little T-Rex muscles. Stair climbing. Oh. Sitar, I thought you'd know better. It's not polite to stare. Especially not at the gym. Okay. Speaking of transfers, just Okay. We'll figure something out. We got a whole lot of band stretching to do. We got some tricep dips to do. We just did arm things. Oh, we got all kinds of space. Let's do it right here. Glorious. Now, it's not to say the stairs aren't wildly effective. The incline with the defined position is great for glute activation, great for quads and hamstrings, shifting things up. A lot of benefits you'd get from doing cycling versus like a flat walk you'll get from stair climbing. Really helps you take it up a level or two or many. Should you feel inclined to step your game up. Still all the cardio benefits of walking, but with a higher threshold target for which muscles are targeted as you incrementally step up. Okay. Gonna roll up our jersey from basketball this morning, tuck it behind our knee. Start working our mobility routine. Focusing on working some strain away from the knee because our knee was bothering us the last couple of days. Too much tension. A lot of that was from tension in our lower back, so we addressed that a lot yesterday. We'll be doing more today. But just with the acuteness and all the quick stops and stuff. This works strain down the lateral medial head of the gastrocnemius and the lower portions of the hamstring and away from the knee. It's akin to foam rolling, where like the foam roll, you sort of work strain, knee that muscle, and get the fluid build up and other stuff. It works away from tendons, ligaments, joints, and more towards the middle of the muscle. Which allows us to get some better mobility going. So we work anterior to posterior, which is pulling things a little bit taut, and then we can work lateral, medial, and internal external rotation. All the fun angles. Then we kick our leg back. Extending the leg out, pulling our toes up, driving with our heel to get some end range motion, stretch it out after we break things up. It's the approach I like to take if I do anything that's akin to a foam roller or anything that's similar to it like this. It's nice to work out like any built up muscle strain where you have that knotted muscle feeling. But afterwards you kind of want to find that end range motion and stretch the muscle. Establish that end range motion that you want to maintain without overdoing it too. Yeah, right side started the left side again. Oh, it's interesting to see which side tends to be a little bit more tense. But only while we're doing it, because once we're done, then it's past tense. So it's not that bad. Then we just do small movements to targets, upper hip region and inner hip region. All the fun stabilizers. Stabilizers in this economy? Take your job. Have a good one. And I'll make sure to let everyone know. That fan just was going for the gym. Sounds good, sounds good. Looking forward to it. Okay. We can hang this back up because it's still... No. You don't have to rotate. You don't have to rotate. There we go. Stay there. We can do some tries. Let's get our mat out of the way. We got some tricep dips in. Go from there. Louder than I was expecting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the tire pool is full. That means we got time. But it's Thursday. We got all kinds of time. Never mind. Not Friday. There's no water aerobics class, so we can take our time. Wait till things finish up. Tend to do that as a modification of a dead hang, where a dead hang tends to be more your can't exactly go much higher. So we're gonna go lower and rotate up to compensate for our droopy, dilapidated, busted tripod. A tripod when you can do pod. Where a dead hang tends to just be a straight arm hang. To help alleviate some strain on our lower back and some decompression there, we tend to do a tricep dip variant where it's almost like a shoulder shrug, but that way with our arms down, we're not pulling all of our upper back muscles tense. similar concept to what we do when we're doing our scorpions, and just the higher our arms are up, the more tense, the more we're pulling through and activating upper back muscles. So with our arms down, less tension there, gives us a little bit more laxness so we can focus on just sort of getting a release, letting our entire hip bone sink down and get some decompression through the entire lumbar region, a little bit of the tailbone and the hip bones, the ilium and the sacrum stuff. Just kind of get some small movements, focus on rotating anterior, posterior, and then just sort of ragdoll and get some decompression down there. Take some pressure off of the regions that have nerves flowing through them, which can help address some of the lower extremity issues you sometimes notice. Like our knee was having some tension and swelling yesterday, and a lot of that was because we had hamstring and quad tightness from unilateral pressure on the right side, deep to the glutes, and that was putting some pressure on things. So once I started just kind of ragdolling, you can do that with a little bit of assist to get like a light dumbbell between your feet, and just use that to help you kind of pull things down, and just that decompression can help alleviate a lot of the nerve flow issues that can come from any sort of compressions in that region. Just that little bit of cavitation feels wondrous. Okay, I got some triceps to do. We'll get the foam roller going. Then we'll do some band stretches. And then we'll be close to done. Down you go. This, take the foam roller, 3 points of contact, lower back, basically literally our tailbone sitting on it, upper back right between the shoulder blades, somewhere in the upper thoracic region, making our own thoracic mark here, then the back of our head, kind of close to where the skull sort of gets its curve. Be mindful of the ideal curvature of the spine, and then big arm circles where we go arms up, pulling back trebuchet style as far as we can go, and just make big arm circles.
mobilizes the humeral joints, opens the chest for some thoracic expansion. It's a little more room to breathe, literally and figuratively. Shifts them back to a more neutral alignment to combat some of the anterior rotation. The desk job life.
More triceps. More triceps. Okay. Gonna get the band out. Do we hand you a rock and scorpion at the end? At the end. Let's get the band. Let's get the band back together. This start from mid. Band's basically for taking a knee. Roughly eye level, it doesn't have to be too exact. Band behind the hamstring, just below the glute. And this is all about a bit more switch. Good morning.
This way, right? Is that what you can see? It'll make more sense on the left side. This is where I can do that. But it's a lot of hip mobility, so the idea is just we're 2 points of focus. The first one is basically the hip itself, the acetabular-femoral joint as we rotate through things, finding our end range of motion, kind of working through so we have mobility through the upper portions of the hamstring, defining just what our stride length can be. I do this for a lot of just maintaining that end range stride length for my running stuff. For anterior posterior motion as it rotates through, so kind of what I'm pushing against there. And then we lock ourself in place, kind of our upper body, lower back, and then we do more of a hinge motion. And that's just kind of to get some portions of the lower portion of the spine recti activated, a lot of deeper tissue for the lower back. Similar to what we were doing with some of the other stuff. Activate. I really like to focus more on that posterior portion. It's kind of that, almost like a reverse pelvic thrust against tensile resistance. Kind of working that concept of reverse motion for joints that have that extra range of motion that goes through multiple planes of movement. Left side. This will make it a little bit better. So again, just a little glute, high up in the hamstring. Then we lock the wrist. Lamb and cub lamb. Hardy, hardy, hardy. Say about not doing We're going to address that right now. Low band stretches for ankle, knee, everything we know. Low anchor point close to the ground. Wrap the band behind the back of the heel, right over the Achilles tendon region, crossing over burping on the left side. Spent a little extra time on the right side just because the right side was bothering us after basketball games. Repeat the concept. Man behind you is 10. Down slow.
Go a wee bit taller because we got overhead bands, we got handheld rock scorpion. Oh, we didn't do our alphabet yet. We'll do our reverse alphabet for abs after overhead bands. Yeah, so we're almost done. We're almost done. Lish. Yeah, it's fine. High anchor point. As long as it's a fair bit over your head, you're good. Good enough. Good enough to see what's going on. We start with the deep squat. But it's better from here. We don't have activation in our back like we normally want when we're doing a squat. Generally, like when you're doing a squat that's loaded of any kind or like an actual squat motion, it's like a slight curvature, kind of like an S curve. Just maintaining activation in the lower portions of the spine erector, surrounding regions, and then the upper portions of the glutes, so that you don't have like that anterior rotation, because that little bit of a twist can usually be that transition in and of itself. So you'll end up with a lot of back issues. A lot of joint compression stuff and things. That's where you can tweak something or do some disc damage. A lot of the not so fun things. But when we're stretching, because we're using the band to assist us, anterior motion, it's a good thing. Let's just stretch stuff the way we want to. Yo, May, welcome in. The gym of Pojo, exactly what I need. Yo, Edwin, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday to you guys. How are you doing, May? How are things in your world? Hope you're surviving the heat. If you're in the heat regions, the nether regions. How's it going, Edwin? Happy third to you. Got any big plans for the 4th? May take a half day today. Nice. We're off today, so I was like, you know what? No work today, quiet day at the gym. Let's try and get a gym streak. But yeah, with this one, we can let our pelvis tilt forward, get that stretch in the lower back. Just that lower back stretch. Before kick the leg back, pull down, rotate. Counterclockwise on the right side is your internal rotation. Gives us a stretch to the lats, obliques, decompression to the glenhumeral joint on the shoulder. I would just use small moves against end range motion, or end range resistance to decompress, get some joint spacing, and work back towards neutral alignment. Crisis managing. Ooh, crisis managing. Wake up early, so I went on a 5-mile run. Walk, nice, dude. 5 miles in this heat's like a freaking marathon, so kudos to you for surviving it. My flight tickets didn't get approved, and I'm supposed to leave Sunday for class. Oh. Good luck with. Hopefully they get the tickets sorted for you, because that's ridiculous. That's not on you. That's one where it's like, you can only take care of your things. At some point, it's like, man, I did my part. You guys got to pull through for me. Just got the email, my flight reservations. Okay. As I say, at some point, it's like, throw me a bone, dude. I'm doing my thing. I can't fly there myself. Actually, it's Mei. He could probably fly there himself. He could probably load himself into some artillery and just be like human cannonball and like, choo. And then he would arrive there before everyone else. That's the Mei I would know. No big plans, just grilling, chilling, lining off a few fireworks. Very nice. That's what this time of year is for, especially with this level of heat. If it's been anything like that for you guys. Chill 4th of July. Avoid the mosquitoes, avoid the ticks, avoid the heat, avoid the collapsing economy, and all the other fun things. Humid 73 and still dark. Oh, 70s. Walking in 70s. For me, 70s is like, that's like ceiling of comfort for doing like a race. I'm still on the fence if I want to run tomorrow. Because if it was like this morning, I might. We'll see. We'll see. I don't handle heat well. Travel off is kind of sad on it till the last day, but today is the day before the 4th, so like everyone left the office early. Sergeant Major made the. It's like, should have just done it early, my dudes. If you did it yesterday, you could have had probably a whole day off to do your own thing. Well, it's good to know that the Sergeant Major didn't let that fly by making them make it fly. Yeah. I see how it is there. Oh, I disappointed Bowser Big Green Burrito. Welcome in, hope you're doing well. Happy 3rd to you. We got one more band stretch. Oh, I got to do side steps. I didn't do side steps. So we got 4 things left and then we're done. Overhead band with the left arm, side steps, ABC standing rock scorpion 5. We're almost done. Almost. Okay, side steps. The fun stuff. Because just like the military, we like to sidestep the issue instead of address it head on. Band's going to be on the outside of our ankle. 3. Truly. I think this will be good height. And we're focusing on gluteus medius activation. The glutes have 3 layers. You got your maximus, which is like the big inferior portion, some smaller portions of the minimus towards the top, and then you have the portion that wraps around laterally around the hip for some lateral stability and motion. We want to target that. Basically stepping to the side, getting that activated, and just repeat. Get a little bit of a groin stretch for the hip adductors and switch. We can roll that up afterwards. We bring our own band because the one here broke. Like those shoes? They are... What are they? Brooks Launch 10s. So there's a soon to be deprecated with this model Launch GTS, which had like a little bit of a medial arch support in it. And then there's a non-arch support version, which is what I'm currently wearing, the Launch 10. I think they're currently on the 11s. There's a shoe that kind of fit my need-ish after the dream shoe, the Ravinas, like went the way of the Dodo Bird a long time ago now, pre-pandemic. So this was kind of like the, oh, well, this one's gone, so try this. And it worked okay for a while. It gets the job done. I have the Ghost in there, generally good. Yeah, it depends what your how technically you want to go with your running shoes, because they provide different levels of support. Some have a little bit more cushion to them, some are a little bit more sole support, some have a little bit more arch support. Depending on your running style, your stride, how much heel, and a little bit of internal or external rotation stuff. Depends what you're looking for with them. They all provide a little bit of something different. But Ghosts tend to be really good. I know a lot of people tend to go to that one. It's one of the more common rug shoes, I believe. But that's one where there's a handful of stores that will have you kind of do the test where you can like walk on a treadmill or something with pressure, and you sort of see what your natural propensity is for your stance and what your movement is. And finding a shoe that kind of support that is like huge, both for walking and for running if you do the running thing. Used to use a mild support shoe, but don't need it anymore. Nice. If you can get by without it, great. If you need it, nothing wrong with a little extra support. Just like this community. We always love the extra support. Yeah, running shoes are fun. Some can give you some extra ankle support, some can give you a little bit more shock absorption. Depending on how
hard you run, you can adjust with the insole as well. Because sometimes you can get accustomed, not just orthotic, but an insole will be a little bit more. Gives you a little bit more cushion for, depending on the course or how hard you run, versus one that's a little bit softer. Just depends what you really need.
There's lots of layers of customization there. Yo, Lucky, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Happy 3rd of July to you. How are you doing?
We're just wrapping things up. We got abs. We'll retrace the alphabet backwards. Handheel rock scorpion, and then we're done. Got anything fun planned for the 4th? Turn to an E, a backwards E to balance the motions out a little bit. C, E, Sick, no! Sick right now, just moving to the new place. Hopefully after sickness, time to get in shape. Nice. Hopefully that passes quickly. We had a lot of people sick the last week, like even me. I had this really bad sore throat on Tuesday. I started feeling it Monday, but like Tuesday, like my throat was like swollen, like horribly. So I ended up taking like a sick day and I just like slept most of the day. So I don't know what it was, but it was like 2 days of just misery. So I hope you feel better quickly. Especially with the holiday, it's like you hate to have to use holiday time as like recovery time. You kind of want it to be like actual celebrate, have fun time, or whatever you do time. Saturday, if I'm feeling better, heading to a friend's barbecue. Nice. Well, I hope you're better in time for that. Hopefully it's kind of like mine, where it's like 1 to 2 days and suddenly it's like, boom, we're good again. You have a great work as usual. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. And take care of yourself, Lucky. Don't overdo it. Don't work too hard. Take care of yourself. And hopefully you get to spend some time with some friends. It is the season. It is friend season. That's what the 4th's all about. Fun, freedom, maybe french fries. I don't know. Grilling, barbecuing, food. Okay. Last 2 stretches. Start with cat cow, we can work into a handheel rock from that, kind of combine the two as a progression. Then we got our scorpions, and we're done. For cat cow, bed down, back up, pelvis rotated anterior, chest forward, head back, pelvis rotated posterior. You can kind of widen your stance a little bit just to kind of make it a little bit easier. You get a little bit more depth of height, especially with the rotation for the pelvic region. If you want to get a little bit more motion from the back, because the sacroiliac joint on both sides is kind of at a downward angle. It matches kind of the sacrum, the tailbone is almost like an inverted pyramid triangle. So you can get a little bit more rotation just to account for the angle, get you a little bit more height and depth. Be a little bit tricky to feel out though. Then we pull through for handheel rock. Start pushing down, pull through, and range of motion.
Cobra Kai. Okay, scorpions, everyone's favorite. Scorpion is posterior lateral motion for the lower back and hip region. It's a very unorthodox motion, which makes it so effective is because it's a very uncommon movement, but it focuses on the concept of a lot of reverse motion mobility to kind of counterbalance things. So we end up working movement planes that we wouldn't normally work to complement the standard movements that we kind of do too much of, and that combination of trying to counterbalance the two different ranges of motion gives us the ideal complete range of motion for mobility things, and hopefully in the process take some strain off of any impingement we may have, as long as we can do it, don't need to decompress stuff. Impingements and other things. With that, we can focus on two different planes here. One can be a little bit more the posterior, where we lift our leg up higher, and focus on a smaller movement laterally. Or we can focus more laterally, going a little bit lower on the height, further over on the swing. We're done. I forgot we don't have our laptop today because we're not working. I don't think I can raid. Yeah, I think that's just it. I think we're just done. The flexibility, the grace. Just combating the old manitis. So I talk about what aging gracefully is. Water. Cheers. The first thing that tends to go is mobility and then strength. So the two things you want to try and focus on keeping up, just age gracefully, is the ideal range of motion for your mobility and flexibility, and then supplementing that with a strength routine to build up both a combination of muscle strength, muscle mass that you maintain, and then bone density that comes along with it. So those are your two big things, especially once you get into Yale Methuselah years, that are huge. I do appreciate it. I started doing a 45 yoga workout once. Oh, dude, that thing is gonna pay off in spades for you, man. Yo, Louise, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Happiest of 3rd of July's to you. How are things in your world? But yeah, no, that, like, I only do like a couple of flexibility things from yoga, but that pays off in spades. That and like Tai Chi, like for aging people, the combination of it works enough of your stabilizing muscles to help build up stability while still working in an ideal range of motion. Some of the most functional people that have the best quality of life as they age, that's the stuff you want to do. Missed you? I'm actually done. Normally I'd be rating at this point, but I don't have my laptop with me, and when I try and do, I can try a / raid somewhere, but I don't know who's on, and it just tends to kind of, rating doesn't work directly from my phone the way I like it to. Missed you too. It's good to see you here. It is such an old person thing, but that's the thing is like as you get older, it's like good stuff. Let's say I was 37. What's the best practice to build bone density? Does that ability to build? Actually, it's gonna sound weird, but bone density tends to work better with age, but that's also where you have to kind of guide it. That's where like the strength training's huge. Like you think of a lot of like the older women and you think of how brittle they are. It's usually people like, oh, don't lift heavy, don't do this, that, and the other. It's like bone density comes from like that resistance factor of having to lift heavy. So the bigger the resistance factor you're working against, if it's cables with like weights, if it's tensile resistance from bands, free weights, squats, whatever you're going to be doing, anything that's going to be like lifting heavy-ish or just consistent amount of weight through enough reps for fatigue, that's what tends to build up a lot of bone density. So it kind of runs complementary parallel to a lot of your bone, to your muscle growth. So a lot of the stuff that's going to fatigue muscles, help them grow, is also going to work on bone. And that's where the strength training and the lift heavy concept really, not too often, but the lift heavy is going to pay off in spades. But to complement the lift heavy, you do have to offset it with that mobility stuff, so you don't end up with like the huge, I lift heavy, but I get a decreased range of motion as I'm going, and now suddenly it's like I'm strong but too tight, and then you end up losing it. So it's finding that happy medium between the two. But as you age, you tend to also get a little bit more calcification, which tends to work against you for joint mobility because your joints get calcified. Your bone density goes up, but your softer tissues also get a little bit more brittle and a little bit more, not so much fragile, it's just they lack the fluidity and cushion, that gumminess that you get. And again, because of calcification, they get a little bit more harder, a little bit more like bone. So that's where it's like just maintaining what your range of motion is supplementally. You can still maintain a lot of that throughout. It's just you have to be more proactive about it. You don't have the fluidity of youth where you're a little bit more pure gummy joints. I think my workout routine isn't going to change as I get older, swimming and weight training, and that's perfect. It's finding that happy medium where you can. The swimming is like, I swear by it, for joint health, for mobility, for endurance, controlled breathing. The pool is just like ambrosia for the soul. That's why I try to swim like every day if I can. And then it's finding enough of a rotation where you get every little bit that you need in. Cloud muscles. Can't touch my back. Oh boy. But yeah, that's the big thing. Is it's the two top end thresholds that you look at for people is the intensity threshold. Like for sprinting, it's defining what your maximum output can be so that you don't lose it, and then maximum strength, what you can maintain for moving, and then what your range of motion is. Those are like the three thresholds I tend to focus on. So what am I defining and maintaining as my intensity max? The duration for my endurance and what I can do for muscle output, and then the resistance factor I'm working against for strength. Favorite stroke? Backstroke. I like freestyle and back. I used to be a backstroker, and now I do a lot of fly, just because I found fly to be absolutely the bane of my existence. So I worked into that, and I don't have the right hip mobility to do the kick for breaststroke. I always get disqualified when I do it. So for me, it's probably going to be back, then fly, free, then fly, and then distant fourth is breaststroke. Oh, talk about them, Jack. Yeah, no, where it's like I can't get to the doorway, so I have to walk sideways type of thing. Like we gotta get we gotta get the dolly so we can work them through the door type of thing. Stand sideways and we'll roll you through. I feel you, man. You don't want to be one of those people. I mean, maybe you do if your function is just like people that are looking to just define what their maximum is of moving the most amount of weight. There's an absolute world for that, and it's impressive. But just looking at general functionality for the type of stuff that people like to do as they age, that becomes less of a factor, and it's more the one extreme that you're trading certain things off so that you can get higher tier in other areas. And kudos to them that can do it because it's wildly impressive. Just not my thing. Yo, Big Papa Pump. Happy 3rd of July to you. Hope you're doing well. More, Doug. Although still on some topics in your 40s now. That's the big thing you'll find is as you age, there's something about the way the mind changes. Is you become more aware that people just care less about. People are really drawn into what's immediately on their mind, what's directly affecting them, and less giving a darn what's around them other than like in the moment. So they'll be like, whatever, in passing. And so as you age, it's like as you become more aware of that, I feel you just start caring less what other people think, and you just become way more comfortable in your own skin. And I feel that's been the case for almost like everybody. It's just as you go on, you just care less about what other people think as you age. Flexibility's still pretty good. I don't want to get too big. Oh yeah, it's finding that happy medium. You just kind of fine tune and adjust as you go. Where it's like I need a little bit more strength here. Actually, I need a little more mobility here. Feeling a little bit tension here, addressing that. It's just fine tuning as you go. It's big picture mentality, doing a little bit every day and watching as it's progressing and just making the necessary adjustments, the fine tuning tweaks as you go. Is a barbecue burger with no bread healthy for breakfast? It's protein. A lot of people swear by protein being a good way to start the day. Kickstarts your metabolism. Doesn't have the carb threshold where it gets broken down into like a lot of the sugars and stuff, so you won't get necessarily that energy kick. But if you're looking to have a pure protein fuel to get you going, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd say it's a good start for the day. I'd be down for a barbecue burger for breakfast. I think I'm just going to call it there. I could try rating, but I have no idea who's on. I don't think I can bail this without having it crash. Ash should be on. I'm going to try something. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to kill it. That ain't going to work. Nope. I saw Ash on today, and she'd still be on. It's the only person I know that would be on. We're going to try this, and if it doesn't work, we're just going to call it. I don't think that works. No, I tried. Well, thanks everyone who stopped in today, kept me company. Appreciate the support. Everyone who's celebrating the 4th of July, all you Americanese people around, don't get too crazy. Have fun with the fireworks, spend time with friends, deep breath, chill. Hopefully you don't have to work. Stay cool. For all the non-Americanese people, hopefully it's a peaceful end to your week. Appreciate all the support today. Great seeing you all. Hopefully I see you all soon in a stream not too far away. Take care of yourself, May May. Safe travels to you, especially with the upcoming flight stuff. Keep on being a beast. May May's an absolute legend. Until next time, toodles.